Hi guys, my name is Andrew Carlton. I'm a voiceover artist. I've been doing voiceovers for about 20 years. I started very young and was really keen. I was actually working professionally in theatre at the time, and I knew that a couple of people that were into it, and I thought this is something that's pretty cool. I wanted to be part of it. So I started doing voiceovers back then, and I cracked the industry in a very specific way back then. What I did is I concentrated on a very specific market, which was the youth market at the time. I was only about 20 at the time, and I thought, you know, why don't I just communicate one message? I communicated one message within that area, and I started to get voiceovers in that area. Now I learned a bunch of skills, and I worked pretty hard. I worked with some of the big people in the industry, and they helped me along. But from there, I just started doing jobs every now and then, and started to build a career from that point. What happened then was I started to understand that voiceovers were less about sounding really sexy and smooth, because I didn't really sound that way. I was like, why am I getting work if I'm not like, you know, if I don't have this big, beautiful, rich voice? And I started to notice that it was more about the way I was communicating. And I was lucky enough to land a voiceover for Optus back then. And instead of it being, you know, a big sort of smooth, sexy kind of voice about Optus, it was just me talking about this product and what it could do and that kind of stuff. And when that ad released, the phone of my agent at the time just rang hot. Who is this guy? And from there, it really, my career really took off. So from that, I kind of harnessed what works. And from then, I basically created strategies with that has turned me into one of the busiest voiceover artists in the country. And now what I like to do is kind of teach other people how to do that. So, you know, so voiceovers are more now about regular people speaking and less about, you know, these old-fashioned sort of godlike newsreader sounding voiceovers. People think, I'm just going to refer to some notes here because I've gotten a load of emails from you guys, and I wanted to get back to you all as much as possible, and I thought maybe I'd create some reports and that kind of stuff, which I want to do as well. But I thought, you know, I only had 3 voiceovers today, and I had a couple of hours, so I thought, why don't I sit down and just present something to camera so you guys can start to get some ideas, and I can try and give you some value and get it out there as soon as possible, okay? So one of the things that I got a lot of these emails was that, you know, people were asking me about characters. Oh, I'm really good at characters. How do I get into voiceovers? Or I'm really good at accents. Or a lot of people have told me I've got this really beautiful voice, and I've had this, you know, and how do I get into the business? Another bunch of emails that I got from a lot of people were about people that have actually done demos before, like they understand some of the process and that they've done a demo, but they had gotten limited success with it. They may have gotten an agent, but not much work, or they may have gotten a few jobs with it, but not much, or no response at all, and those kinds of things. And it felt to me like from the communication I was getting that people were concerned about the voice itself. And I think that that's what people think. They think that it's about having these cool character voices or having this beautiful sounding voice or this kind of thing. But what it's really about is about having a voice that represents a very specific market or a demographic, and everybody's voice does. And within that market, communicating authentically and intimately an opinion. What you think and how you feel about something. You take the script, you read it, and you input your own opinion on your communication. That's what's powerful, and that's what people are tuned into. The market's been really moving on. Look, if you turn on the radio and the TV, of course you still hear people with beautiful voices. But if you listen for a little while, you'll notice that that's less and less. If you go back 20 years, that was all the voiceovers. But if you listen now, that works really less and less. It's really that those kinds of voiceover artists are an endangered species in this business now. Those guys used to do 20 or 30 jobs a week, and now they struggle to find work, guys and girls, because that's not really what people want. People want opinion. If you can communicate authentically and intimately, producers are going to want to buy your opinion. That's what they want. They also want something that's unique. They want to hear your uniqueness. And if you can communicate who you really are within your demo and how within your voiceovers, you're going to be immediately competitive, because nobody does you as well as you do you. And I spent a lot of time marketing myself as a unique person with a unique opinion. And that's why I think that I do as well as I do in the business. Okay? So what you want is to try and understand what makes your voice yours. And that's a really good place to start in your voiceovers. Now we're going to spend a lot of time talking about all different things, and I'm going to help you as much as I can to put together a demo, how to put together the most strategic demo that's going to most likely get you work. And we're going to go through all the different styles that needs to be on there, and we're going to address characters and all that kind of stuff, because it is part of what you want to communicate. Okay, so that's what we're going to do from now. But from now on, I'm going to be trying to do a few of these videos and try and get some more of this information out. I hope you found this piece of information valuable and you found it a little bit inspiring, and I want to try as much as I can to dispel a lot of these myths. So I hope you enjoyed this, and you know, we'll look forward to talking to you soon.